How's it going, everyone, and welcome back to the Enclave. And yes, I will wear a cap with any shirt. So today we are back with another gift video, and that is going to be 5 gifts under 1,500 Rand. So this is pretty much the second last of our gift videos. Pretty much only one scheduled after this, and then it's all up to suggestions or if I come across anything new, but that's pretty much my run before the festive season really gets into effect. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get into the video. And we're back. So the first gift under 1,500 Rand will link back to one of the gifts in the last video, which is a laser training target. Now, there is a more expensive model in this, than this, which will be in the next video. This is basically a standard target. It basically detects the laser hitting it, and it will then score you appropriately on accuracy, time, etc. The more expensive one comes with a bunch more features, included drills, all sorts of things like that, but we'll obviously get into more detail on that in the next one. So, combined with a laser training round, as mentioned in the last video, these things are really awesome. So you can pretty much put it up wherever you want. You can hang it on the wall, you can stick it on your desk, put it across from your toilet in the bathroom. It's completely up to you. And yeah, you use your firearm, your trigger, and you actually get a visible reference. And the reason I like these things, don't get me wrong, the Manta system is great. Okay, if you can afford 8 grand plus for the Manta system, go ahead. That is an incredible gift. I didn't even include it on this list because I feel like for that level of money, I'd be disappointed. And maybe that's just me, but I feel like if I found out someone spent the better part of 10K on a training system, when I really can just sit with dummy rounds and a training round, which will give me sort of the same thing. I don't know. I feel like there's other things I would have preferred for that, like close to 10 grand, you know? So anyways, laser target, really cool gift. Genuinely, I think any shooter could use one of these. Yeah. Dry firing is life. Bullets are expensive, even when you make them yourself. If you go to the range and drop a couple 100 rounds, that's still close to 1,000 Rand. So, yeah, you definitely can get a lot of good out of dry firing, a lot of good out of this laser target system. So, that is why it's number 1. Let's move on to number 2. Knives. I'll be real, I wasn't sure where I was going to put the knives in these videos, because you really can get things like the Bear Grylls knife, which I think the cheapest one is like $2.99 or something like that, all the way up to even in the same Bear Grylls Gerber range. I think it was a collaboration with Gerber. All the way up to, I think, 3 grand, 4 grand, somewhere there. And when you look at any other knives, like the example I've put up here, you really can get a crazy machete for 1,499 Rand, which I saw it in person. It's pretty cool. It's definitely not the machete you buy at your local builders for 62 Rand. This thing is pretty hardcore. Like, I don't know who would need one other than some crazy wilderness guy or some crazy knife collector. I don't really know a gun person who would need that. But I just wanted to put that there to show you like the maximum blade per rand ratio, you know? That is the biggest thing you can get for $1,500. But you can get a knife this big for 10 grand. So it really is a difficult thing to put in this price list because you really could get something for $299 all the way up to $29,999, and you put them next to each other, and the layman won't tell a difference. The knife guy might, a collector might, but the layman's not gonna know the difference. I probably wouldn't know the difference. I'm not a huge knife guy. Pretty much every knife I've ever owned, I've cut myself with within like 20 seconds. I do not know how. I do not know why. I don't go and touch the blade. I am quite responsible with firearms, so you'd think somehow I wouldn't cut myself with knives, but it's just... Okay, and we are back. Sorry, we had a little camera snafu there. So, finishing off with the knives. Like I say, I'm not really a big knife guy, but, you know, it is part of pretty much every EDC, like, kit you see out there. So, yeah, definitely knives, low end, high end. You know, there's literally thousands of options out there. So, yeah, knives. Moving on to number 3, barrel cool. So, the barrel cool is basically a long-range precision rifle fan. It basically cools your chamber and barrel down. Most people, other than long-range shooters, aren't really going to notice any benefit from this. I suppose you could, if you were having a day out with your semi-auto rifle and wanted to let off a hell of a lot of rounds in a short period of time, I'm sure this could potentially help you in between all that. But yeah, mostly long-range precision shooters. But yeah, pretty cool gift. I'm definitely going to pick one up, see what it's like, see if it's worth getting, and then there'll obviously be a review on the channel. But for now, it's just a gift recommendation. So, moving on. Next up, we have rifle bags or bigger bags, bigger ammo cases, things like that. So in the previous video, you guys would have seen that I showed you a Glock bag, and then I showed you my small arms range bag, basically. And basically, yeah, the thing with the bags is the same with the knives. You could put one in every list because you can get them from $3.99 all the way up to $3.99, and yeah, sort of everywhere in between. So there will be an option up on the side here that is just an example. But yeah, you can get some nice shotgun bags, nice rifle bags, some nice big ammo tins for pretty much anything under 1.5. Anything above that, you're looking into some pretty fancy stuff, like hard cases, those sort of things. Those are very expensive, like hard rifle cases, hard handgun cases. Those things can be quite expensive. So yeah, bags, ammo tins, those sort of things will all sort of be covered by this. Moving on to the final item, which if you saw the Gift for Reloaders Part 2, you will already have seen. It is the single stage reloading press. Now, this is basically an addition to the reloading setup for anyone who has a turret or auto progressive press. I use mine primarily for bulge busting. Out of every 1,000 rounds I make, I probably have to bulge bust about 300. This is obviously the first time I'm processing the brass. Afterwards, I don't generally have to do that. It's just when you get new once fired brass in that has run through primarily Glocks. So yeah, I end up using that mostly for that, but I have used it for other things, and I can see myself using it for other things in the future. So be it specifically for the bulge buster, be it for separating your processing of brass to a different press, I feel like it's a cool addition, and there's definitely a lot of uses for an additional single stage press, especially if you want to do like small load development, things like that. It can be quite easy to just swap out the breech lock system versus setting up this whole press for 6 rounds. Then you got to go back to your usual load setup, then you got to redial that in, and yeah, so there are a lot of uses for it. So yeah, that is the gifts under 1,500. It's been such a mission to record this video, but it is done, hopefully. As always, I hope you've enjoyed. If you have more time, please check out another video here on the side. And as always, peace out.